Going to do a little recording here. This is my Synthari control panel. I've got a picker up here on top. I've got TinyLlama 5.3 medium, Llama 8 billion, Llama 13 billion, Mistral, and Quinn 14B. I can pick characters over here on the left. I've got assistant, coder, engineer. I can pick a writer, a management specialist. I can put any of these things in. I can pick a lens that the model is going to look through. This can be very concise. It can be detailed. It can be technical. I can have it just creatively pick things. The knowledge that I can put in here right now is general knowledge and mechanical knowledge, programming or business. I've got some tools here where I can look at various logs. I've got a system log, a chat log. Let's pick it. You'll see it'll show up over here on the right. This is the entire chat log that all the models have been using. I can edit command logs, error logs, backup system. I can do quite a bit here. I've got a voice recorder here that I can start. It'll just record my voice for like a captain's log. I can start and stop it. I've got some other modifications here. This button here, the launch button, launches a model. Once I've typed a message in here, I can hit send, and this will unload whatever model it is. So let's take a look at here. Let me get my metrics up here. This is right now set on the GPU. It's not really running anything. It's running about 7%. Now let's pick Tiny here. We'll launch him. And it tells us here that Tiny got launched. And you can see this over here on the right. The GPU is quite a bit bigger. It just took a jump there. Let's pick a different model. Let's try 5.3. We'll launch him, and you can see that right here it dumped Tiny, and 5.3 is now launched. It's showing you how much VRAM is being used. Notice nothing's running on the CPU. It's all running VRAM. Let's pick another model. Let's go to 5.3 medium. We're going to launch him. And let's get our task manager back here. Looks like we're you see 5.3 is it's a pretty big model. And it's loaded almost all of our VRAM. I've got 26 gigabyte there. And if you see, if we unload him and back to our VRAM, you can see it dropped right there suddenly. The next model we have is excuse me, Llama 8 billion model. And we're just going to launch him, and it tells us here it's launching. Go back to our memory and see, just take a second here, and he'll show up here in our memory log or our VRAMs. You can see how much he's using there. It's about half of it, about 8 gigabyte of the VRAM. And you can see the video encoding going on here. And we're going to pick a Llama 13B, 13 billion parameters. It says it's true. Let's take a look here. You're going to see the VRAM is going to spike. Right here it dropped him. This is running a second or so behind. But anyway, here it comes. There's Llama 13 billion. I guess I'd move this over. There you can see he got loaded. We're going to pick Mistral, which is a fairly big model, and we're going to launch him. Shows down here that he got launched, and there's his launch point. See, he's not taking a lot of VRAM, about half of it. And then the biggest model we've got here is Quinn, this Chinese large language model, and we're going to launch him. And here's our VRAM, our dedicated GPU. And it's going to take him a little bit here to take up the memory. There he goes right there. See, he's using most of it. And now, see, he's got a couple jumps there, but it's using probably about 95% of the dedicated GPU. And if I'll hit unloaded here, I'll unload him. And you'll see that there he is. You can see it dropped immediately. I'm gonna pick Tiny here, and I'll launch him, and you'll see he doesn't use very much memory at all. And you can see it dropped right down here to, you know, just a few gigabytes. Anyway, these are how all of the models are working. You can see how much when I loaded Tiny. If I'll unload him, you'll see this will drop just a little. I'll go over here to unload. I'll unload the model. Then you can see that little drop right here on the right. So anyway, here's all of the models here, and this is how the memory works. All right, the next thing we're going to do is pick a character. This Tiny's only a 1 billion model. He's not very smart, but we're going to pick him as an assistant. We're going to let him get creative with what he's going to talk about, and his general knowledge is going to be mechanic. And we're just going to ask him here, how do I rebuild a carburetor? I spelled it wrong, but we'll go ahead and send that to the model. And so you can see here what he's done here. He's an assistant. He's a Synthari. I haven't really worked him out too well, but we're going to ask the same question of Phi 3. We're going to launch him, and you see if we look over here at our memory, you can see there's Phi 3 is loaded, and we'll ask him with the same thing. We're going to call him an engineer, and we're going to be very detailed in his description, and his knowledge again is going to be mechanic, and we'll ask him, how do I rebuild a carburetor? How do we rebuild a carburetor? Let's see what he says. We got one, see, 2 seconds. It's already loaded him. He says, confirm it was functioning correctly. If there's an issue at the endpoint, check fuel pressure for no start. He's given us a pretty good reply here. And let's say we want to try something else. Let's say a coder, and we're going to ask another model. Let's load Phi3M. We're going to launch him, and you can see that Tiny's dropped out, or whoever it was, and Phi3M is going to load up, and we're going to ask him, how do you rebuild a carburetor? Well, we'll call it a Holly 650. How to rebuild a Holly 650 carburetor, and we're going to send that to him. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Took 5 seconds, and you see he's pretty much filled up the whole thing here, rebuilding several steps, and he's given us all the stuff. Check parts for wear, reassemble, adjustments. See, he's given us a really good answer here on how to do that. And let's try a different model. We're going to pick Llama 8B. Now this time we're not going to launch him. I'm going to see how long it'll take from the time that we've got Phi3 loaded, and we're going to make him, let's make him a writer, and we're going to have a creative mode, and his knowledge is going to be about business. And we'll just tell him write me of a profitable business. All right, and we're going to count and see how long it takes for see, I haven't picked another model yet, but I'm just going to send it. It'll automatically pick it, and we'll just pull up our VRAM here. See, he's pretty much full. 8B is a 8 billion parameter model. Now we're going to, or I don't remember which one I just had, but we're going to send this. So we're going to, it's about 2000, 1003, 1004. It took him 4 seconds, and it's given me quite a bit of stuff here. Techno Trove, I don't know who that is, but he's given me quite a description here, a creative description of a business model here. So it took, I don't know, what, 6-7 seconds. Now we're going to pick our 13 billion parameter model. Let's make him a coder. Let's say he's very concise and his knowledge is about programming. And we'll say how to a boot sequence and on a Raspberry Pi. In Python. All right. Now we're going to go ahead. See, we haven't launched 13B, but we'll just send a message and we'll see 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Took 4 seconds. And this is from a cold load of one model completely to another. So he's going to ask me about what kind of Raspberry Pi I need to program, and it's giving me the code here. He's defined the GIPO pins in and out, call the boot sequence, and it goes ahead, tells me exactly what it is. This is actually a pretty good reply here. 13B is a deep thinking model, and we're going to try another, let's say a writer. We'll have a creative, and his knowledge is going to be general, and we're going to pick a Quinn 14B. This is our biggest model, and we'll tell it to write a short story. And we'll just write a short story about a successful business plan for an AI startup. They're very good. He'll correct this this business plan. I spelled it wrong. This model here is pretty much loaded our GPU of memory. Now we're going to hit launch and we're going to count. We'll just tell it send. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. It took 5 seconds. You see he's pegged the GPU. And here's a story. Ethan knew his business plan had to be foolproof. He gathered a team of skilled data scientists. Pitch was successful. Techno-Nature launched their products. Within a few years, it became the talk of the town. Now you can see it's pretty much put in a good description here. And we're just going to just put a random prompt in here. We're just going to copy this, and we're going to put that in as our input, and we're going to ask him as a coder, and let's hear a very concise definition, and his knowledge is about programming. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm just going to send this to him. He knew the business plan had to be foolproof. Let's see what he says with just a random prompt. Well, there it was. It took 1 second. He's already, oh, there it is. Okay, that was about 5 seconds. So what he's done here, because we picked a coder, we're going to collect all of the environmental data. Here's a simplified Python plan, Python code. You can see it's a quite thorough model. It only took a few seconds to get an answer. Now we're going to just go right back into Tiny, and he's good at this. He rambles. He's only a 1 billion parameter model. We just tell me a duck joke, and we're just going to send it. We'll count the time it takes. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1004 seconds. So he's already printed me out a duck joke in Python. So anyway, Tiny's a pretty good little model. He's funny. I use him a lot just for things. Or did I even pick Tiny? No. Let's launch Tiny. It says he's launched. Tell me a duck joke. It was 1 second here, and he's already given me Python to tell me a duck joke, because we still got him set up over here on the left as a coder. We'll give him an assistant. We'll let him get creative, and his knowledge is general. Now we'll tell him the same thing, duck joke. And this would give us there he goes. The guy's sitting in the park reading a book. A bird flies up, lands on his head, and cries, "Woe is me." So he's given me 7 jokes. This is Tiny, he's a 1 billion parameter model. Let's try a bigger model. Let's go to 13B model, and we'll give it the same assistant, creative, general knowledge. We'll have it tell us a duck joke. And we'll send and count the time it takes to load. 1001. It took 1001 second. So a duck and a rooster were on a boat. The boat sank. The duck swam to shore, but the rooster was not happy. He says, because the boat was sinking. Anyway, and of course, he's talking about stuff inside. He's getting his own prompts. Anyway, this is how this whole control system works. I've got over here on the right, you can see the CPU, GPU, all of that's disabled, but just for debugging. But I can easily pull up the performance monitor, and let's just unload him, and we'll watch the usage go down. And as you can see, the GPU memory just dropped right here on the right. So anyway, guys, here's a little interesting video maybe for you. And this is the Synthari Control Center, and we have at this point 7 models that will instantly load and unload, and I got 4 or 5 seconds from loading even a 14B model here. It doesn't take hardly any time, a few seconds to load and unload one of these guys. There he is loaded. You can see the memory. He's running in GRAM or VRAM. So if you like this, you want to know more about it, let me know. You can find more out about this on synthari.org. So tell me what you think. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.